then we're currently on page 7, the very bottom. This is the first video of lesson 3-4, identifying proportional and non-proportional relationships in tables. The example says you've been hired by your neighbors to babysit their children on Friday night, and you are paid $8 per hour. Complete the table, which you have to turn the page for, relating your pay to the number of hours you worked. Your pay to the number of hours you worked. So that's giving me a hint there that it needs to be the money over the hours. So when we worked through this in class, people just kind of worked these things out themselves. So like if you worked 1 hour, that would be $8. 2 hours would be 16. 3 hours would be 24. 4 hours would be 32, and a lot of people just were like adding on 8 every time, which is fine as long as this table is just consistently adding an hour. But then all of a sudden you get 4.5 hours. And so students use different methods to go about that. One method was to say that 4.5 was the same as 4.5. And then because it's 4.5 hours at a rate of $8 an hour, multiply, and you would get 36. But another common method was that people saw that it was 4 hours, which is $32, and then a half of an hour would be $4. If a full hour is 8, a half hour is 4. So then they took the 32 plus the 4 and got 36. Either way works. 5 times the $8 would be 40. 6 times the $8 would be 48. And then we have another situation like we just had. 6.5 times 8 is 52. Or you could have said it's 6.5, gone with the 48 from the 6 hours, plus $4 more for the half hour, still gives you 52. And it says, based on the table above, is the pay proportional to the hours worked? Pay proportional to hours worked. How do you know? And on this particular problem, because how we were getting those amounts of pay, people pretty much realized that there's a multiplier here of times 8, because that's how a lot of people were getting their answers. And I'm just going to put ... because it does continue all the way through the table to have that common multiplier of $8 an hour. So we would say yes. We're in lesson 3-4 now, and this is where we get deeper with our vocabulary. Yes, the pay is proportional to hours because there's a common multiplier. Whoops. Now another method that students used when we were working through this in class is they wrote out ratios. They took the $8 and put it over the 1 hour, and they took the $16 and put it over 2 hours, and 24 and put it over 3, and they figured out, they kept doing that, and they figured out that each time when you divided the pay by the hours, you would get 8. And so that's also a common unit rate.